Hello everybody, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday tip number 3 for self-growth and personal development. My name is Sherry Homeyoon. This video is going to be up on my personal website, www.sherryazhomeyoon.com. Today I'm coming to you from sunny Miami, Florida, and I'm bringing with me one of my absolute favorite books called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a concept that a lot of people can relate with, and it's the concept of perfectionism. It's also the concept of self-rejection and self-love that comes along with the idea of perfectionism. And maybe you yourself have been feeling these ideas of rejecting yourself, or maybe even can think of someone who's been really talking negatively about the person they are. And self-love is a practice because it's not easy for some people. I know personally 7 years ago it wasn't easy for myself. I'd look in the mirror and think I'm not good enough. And that notion where Don Miguel Ruiz is going to talk about this idea of integrity being broken in when we were younger really depends on how we were brought up. Did you come from a family that was really, really loving and accepting for who you are? Or did you come from a family that pushed you to your own limits? Maybe they made it seem like things weren't good enough, so ultimately inside you felt like you weren't good enough. Listen in. He says self-rejection is the main problem. You are never going to be good enough for yourself when the idea of perfection is completely wrong. It's a false concept. It's not even real. But you believe it. Not being perfect, you reject yourself. And the level of self-rejection depends upon how strong the adults were in breaking your integrity. Now this I want you to take in and think about. Did you grow up in a family that really accepted you for who you were? Or did you have family members that pushed you to your limits and made you feel like what you were doing was not good enough, that who you were was not good enough, that the thoughts and the ambitions you have just weren't good enough? Because you need to remember that the cause of what happened to us when we were conditioned at a young age is really going to have an effect on us in our adult life. And so many of you may or may not be dealing with this notion of perfectionism, where you look in the mirror and you think, wow, I should be doing more. Wow, I have everything in the world and yet I'm still not happy. When is this sense of being good enough gonna really set in with myself? And that comes back to really accepting yourself for who you are and working on self-development and working on self-love, because it's not gonna come just like that. It's a practice. It's like meditation. It's not gonna come to you just like that. It takes practice. And that's the best part. Because as you're taking this journey inward, you're going to get to know who you are at the deepest level. You're going to start to understand the art of relationships, but most importantly, you're going to understand the relationship you have with yourself. Have you not been so kind with yourself? Have you been saying a lot of negative things? Things like, I'm a loser, I'm broke, my body doesn't work good, I wish I looked better, I need to lose weight in my thighs, I look horrifying. All of these things, all of these notions that are literally telling the world, hey, I'm not good enough. I don't love myself enough to accept that I have a choice every morning and I wake up and this is who I am. This is the body that I was given. This is the temple that I have. And right now I don't love it. So what happens is you send off the energy that you're in a very low state of vibrational energy. And what you find is that other people that are in that state of energy are going to be coming into your life. You ever hear misery loves company? The people who really reject themselves love to hang out with other people who reject themselves. I mean, look around. Look at your friends. You need to start to identify, you know what? The most important relationship that I can have in this lifetime is going to be the relationship that I have with myself. And the minute you make the conscious decision to start to take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your weight, take care of your body, your spiritual life, is the minute that life will literally open up its doors and say, look what you've been missing. You've been hating on yourself for so long. I thought you were gone, but look, now I understand that you're here and I'm glad you're here. Let's start living. Let's start being happy. So this message is for everybody and anybody that feels like they're not good enough, because you are good enough. And this book right here is going to help you identify where you can improve some of the qualities you already have that you feel aren't good enough. And with that, I'll leave you and speak to you next week with another book by Don Miguel Ruiz. Everybody have a phenomenal Wednesday. I'll see you next week. Take care.